Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building. We have the Ghetto the Ghetto Gastro Collective. Welcome, fellas.
Yes, indeed.
John Gray, Pierre Serraro, and Lester Walker. Welcome.
Peace. Indeed. Good morning.
These brothers got their own pastries. I don't want to say Pop-Tarts because Pop-Tarts are Pop-Tarts. These are Ghetto Gastro.
These is Bob-Tarts.
Bob-Tarts.
Black-owned pastries.
There you go.
Pop-Tart is an op-tart. We got the Bob-Tart.
They call them the ops.
Well, tell us what the Ghetto Gastro Collective is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a culinary collective born and bred in the Bronx, and we're storytellers, and we use food to tell our stories. So doing experiences, creating products, appliances, just really wanting to highlight the culture.
Mm-hmm. What made y'all want to be chefs growing up?
I mean, it's really about discipline and showing them multidisciplinary, skills and assets that we have coming from the Bronx. Being creative was one of the reasons that I became a chef personally, and to be able to, feed and nurture, my family, bring my family together. I had a lot of uncles that was going up north a lot, coming back home, after long bids, and this was a great opportunity Cooking was a great opportunity to have everybody come together, break bread, build bridges, talk shit, swallow spit, that type of stuff.
I always say the craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Tell me why that's true.
It's the water.
Well, let's get to each one of them wanted to.
You do always say that.
So why'd you get into cooking and being a chef?
I'm not the chef. They call me the dishwasher, primarily because I rinse pockets. So I handle a lot of the creative work, the business, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, food has always just been like a escape for me, like a place to explore culture. I love to travel. I've always been in the history and social studies, so I feel like it's a very tactile way to experience other culture. Even when you're thinking about growing up in the Bronx, like going to the Chinese spot, like having an understanding that other cultures use chopsticks to eat, that was one of my first windows into that.
Yeah, and I was just raised around food as well. Like my my family in Barbados, like I grew up in between Barbados as well, and my family in Barbados, my grandmothers and stuff cook. My mom is an amazing cook, and food kind of I was good at it early, and it kind of just gave me an avenue to stay out of trouble when I got into, a certain phase of life when I had to make some decisions, and that took me to travel around the world and kind of just opened up my eyes to all of the beauty that the world beholds, and the possibilities of what we could do as entrepreneurs with food kind of just evolved. But really, food is just like in us from early, and yeah, this is how far it's taken us.
I see that book everywhere, the Ghetto Gastro Black Power Kitchen. Yes, what is a Black Power Kitchen?
This is a manifesto to the Bronx, and the Black Power Kitchen is when you take back your liberation, you take back your freedom by feeding the needy, by feeding the people, freeing the people.
Yeah, it's food for thought, food, knowledge, it's all a form of power, so we feel like the liberation lies within the soil, and we take it from the soil to the oil.
Yeah, we call it our Bible. It's the basic instructions before leaving Earth. So it's a culmination of food, art, storytelling, Black history, Black joy, all in one little artifact right there that you can get everywhere books are sold. Black Power Kitchen.
Now, how difficult was it coming up from the Bronx to find fresh food to cook? Because I know a lot of times we talk food deserts, we talk about the food is not necessarily the best food when it comes to our area. So how difficult it was for you guys?
Well, we call it food apartheid or food swamp because a desert means like it gives it the feeling that it's a natural occurrence. So when we think about food apartheid, we think about engineered structures of oppression, And the crazy thing about the Bronx, it's the largest food distribution hub of its kind in the world. Yet many communities are food insecure, So some places, they only have the bodega. They don't have a lot of access to fresh produce. And I think for us, that's a big part of the mission, just to not only make products, but also bring desire to like things that are better for you, that increase nutrition. Because when COVID hit the Bronx, you've seen it was crazy because high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, the quote unquote pre-existing health conditions that kind of historically impact underestimated communities.
And what's the Crux GG Kitchen Appliance Collection?
Well, we packed we brought the toast with the most.
Oh, okay.
So we got the toasters as well. So we have the kitchen appliances. We did a collaboration with our partners at Crux, the New York-based brand. Shout out to Shay Hong and the team over there at Made by Gather. And this is our fourth iteration of products. We first dropped in Williams-Sonoma. We still have products over there, but the line of appliances range from toasters, coffee maker, air fryers, and a waffle maker as well. We also got the pots and pans and stainless steel cookware, carbon blue steel cookware.
Yeah, so basically just throw your oven out in your house and just cop every Crux GG appliance you could.
Put us on your counter, put us in your cabinet, you know.
See, I got everything: appliances, products.
We gotta feed the streets.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, when you
corner in the market with Target, man.
When you talk about cooking, a lot of people don't know that your cookware is very important. So break that down, because a lot of people have some peeling cookware, some horrible cookware, and don't know why their meals don't be tasting right or looking right.
Well, you got to start with a good appliance first and foremost. Well, our appliances definitely have, they're updated with the technology. Definitely our air fryers, definitely the fastest, most crisp turbo boost technology on the air fryers. Our toaster ovens as well. Our waffle makers are non-stick, so you don't have to deal with a lot of cleanup and a lot of mess. And then especially if you're using our products like the Ghetto Gastro pancake and waffle mix and the waffle makers, they just seamlessly work all together, all in one. So it's just, we making it easy to get steezy in the kitchen. Pancake, waffle mix, syrup, waffle maker.
There's a lot of storytelling that goes behind kitchen equipment as well. Like when you think of your cast iron pan that your great grandmother passed down, your grandmother passed it down to your mother, was seasoned, it's been seasoned for decades, so we wanted to actually be able to tell that story as well. So we have a cast iron pan that we have with Crux as well, a wok,
carbon blue steel.
Pan. Carbon blue steel, actually, pardon me, but so along those lines, that carbon blue steel can be seasoned just like a cast iron, and it's something that I could pass down to my son. My son could pass down to his kids, and we could tell stories. Your great grandfather, designed this and had it in Target, things like that. So we think of storytelling aspects with everything that we put out.
How did y'all link up with Target?
Well,
that's
Target.
That's not no play partnership right there.
Oh, nah. We ain't come to play, man. We came to spray. So Target, we initially linked with them through the Crux partnership that we launched 2 years ago. And then we had initially started building on the innovation pipeline for products, because for us with Ghetto Gastro, we started doing exclusive events with Audemars. So you got the AP, Apple, and stuff like that. But people that's not really touching the people. So when we hit Target, we were able to really that's the stuff that our grandmoms was like, yo, our friends is talking about it at church, we see you. So really being able to make it accessible and inclusive with a capital I versus exclusive with a capital E. That's why I just wanted to bring the stuff to the people, meet them where they are.
And something tangible, too, that you can hold on, feel, know where, how, what, when it's coming from, For a long time, people didn't understand what Ghetto Gastro was. It was because even today, it's just still an idea that we constantly build upon. But, putting out the book gave something that people can hold and look at, read. Us, I feel like as Black people, we're very visual people. So in the book, we have a lot of art from some very luminary Black artists, interviews from the likes of Emory Douglas, the chairman of the Black Panther Party. We got A$AP Ferg in there.
Why the name Ghetto Gastro? And was there any pressure once y'all started doing stuff with Target to get rid of the name Ghetto?
I woke up with the name Ghetto Gastro from a nap. And I think it was we wanted to really highlight where we're from and do it unapologetically. So initially when we first started, it was a lot of resistance. People oh, that name will never work. It's too urban or whatever.
They wanted to just say it's too ghetto.
Yeah, precisely. But that just motivated more because we actually have scholarship and the intellectual ideology behind it. So it's to indict the systems of oppression, but also locate our people, because you have ghettos, you have favelas, you have townships and shantytown, and normally these people are underestimated, but they create so much value, but don't get the chance to capture the value. So we're here to capture the value that we create.
Now, why plant-based? Go ahead.
For plant-based, for us, it's really about teaching and bringing our community back into the places where we originated as well, right? We think about our community, the Black community, how much we put into the culture, and everybody's on this vegan, these plant-based vibes, but our ancestors have been eating this way since the beginning of time. That's really, right. So for us, we want to introduce new ways and new flavors for our community, things that are also things that are familiar as well. So, and show people that plants can be delicious. I think John probably got some more to say.
And I was just going to say, growing up in the Bronx, North Bronx, especially Cobb City, Gun Hill Road, a lot of Jamaicans, West Indians, so the Ital cuisine and the Rastafarians. It's like same thing. Like you see, shout out to Hailey Bieber and all of them, but you see Hailey Bieber like talking about sea moss, but we've been doing sea moss. Like I used to wake up to sea moss and wheatgrass, you know what I mean? To, like knock a cough out before going to school. So just really like taking control of our stories and like we said, taking the power back.
Will people be able to tell it's plant-based by the taste, or what did y'all do to like eliminate that plant-based taste?
The first key for us is always just to make the most delicious thing. Because it's like we have a jerk chicken, we call it twerk chicken. We have a jerk chicken recipe in the book. So it's not like we only eat plants, but you just want to move it plant forward so you have a balanced diet and you manage your glucose levels. But for us, it's about flavor first, because nobody cares about what story you're telling if the flavor's not hitting. Right. You know what I'm saying? So for us, that's the first key to success. That's the first pillar.
Is it tough selling the idea of organic and black plant-based food to the hood?
I think we'll find out right now because our products just launched in Target stores nationwide. So
run it up.
You know, this is the point. Like everybody talks about getting on the shelves at Target, but for us, it's really about now we have to move those units and show up for our community and show up for each other, support Black-owned entrepreneurs, Black-owned businesses, and move these units. But we'll see. Honestly, hopefully, it's not hard to sell delicious, delicious and nutritious pastries to our community and food offerings to them. But we'll find out.
How difficult was it to get that shelf space? And everybody says who gets the shelf space is always where they put you on the shelves as well. It's
a grind, and we at high level, eye level. So it's like we have really good placement. But Target, they really rock with us. They believe in us, and it's a great partnership. And for us, it makes sense because when people feel fancy, they say Target. So for us, it's like we can hit the mass distribution, but still maintain a certain level of sexy. And Charlamagne, like you mentioned, I think we know our culture, we know our people. We like nice things, we like fly things, we like status symbols. So we're just creating that for your pantry. Like when someone pulls up to the crib, you got a shorty at the crib, she see the Ghetto Gastro toasty pastry, she gonna know it's up. Like, all right,
you tapped in.
All right, this brother is on point, and the same the other way around.
Absolutely.
So that's the goal, like to really create and make it a status symbol, because we call it putting the medicine in the Kool-Aid. Like you're not necessarily gonna get through to everybody preaching, but it's like if you create something that's compelling, entertaining, aligned with the culture that they feel like they have ownership in, then you win that way.
What are the struggles being Black men trying to break into the breakfast world? I know it's got to be like some cutthroat corporate shit going on.
I mean, there's always been a struggle when you take it back to, let's say, 1969 with the Black Panther Party, when they first initially introduced the free breakfast program to the community in Oakland. Then all of a sudden you see nationwide there's free breakfast programs in high schools and middle schools and what have you. But it was demonized at first by the president, Theodore Roosevelt. He demonized it, said that it was something that needed to be stay away from. But we proved, the Black Panther Party, we proved to the masses that not only was this beneficial to the community, but it was beneficial to the school system. Grades became better. Kids started to pay attention more. And we realized that breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
Word.
Yeah, and I think in terms of just difficulties, like for us, we've thrived in turning our challenges into superpowers. So if someone underestimates you in a room, they might see less with a do-rag, locks, and all of that. They sleeping. So it's like you can sometimes absorb more information when people are sleeping and underestimating you. But we've been blessed, we've been fortunate. Like we've been grinding for like 10, 11 years, just really building a strong brand. So then we have the opportunity to do whatever we want with it.
Yeah, we've been very strategic about the way that we move and the brand alignments, the people that we work with and things like that. So it's like John said, it's given us the ability to kind of pick and choose the placement of where we see the brand going and how we choose to operate. And granted, getting into Target stores and getting on the shelves is a very big deal. But this is all part of the big vision of Ghetto Gastro. So it's structured and there's a method to all of this.
Sure. Keep it delicious and auspicious, man.
And nutritious.
Y'all got a new Audible series too, right? The Cut with Ghetto Gastro?
In the Cut with Ghetto Gastro, yes indeed.
What can people learn from that?
They can learn about
what a chopped cheese is. You can learn what sea moss, the benefits of sea moss, how we've been using it for centuries. You can learn about hood Chinese food. You know, we could learn. We could learn, yeah, because you think about hood Chinese food and the stories behind that. It's like
That's the first time I ever had seafood.
right, like
Because my dad is allergic to seafood, so we never cooked it in the crib. So my only seafood recollection was shrimp fried rice,
Right.
which is wild, but
crab sticks,
Crab
not
stick.
even made with real crab, but they're just delicious.
Mhm.
You know, you can learn all type of things like that as well. I like
The audio series, and like kind of what Les was saying, we kind of extend on some of the subject matter that's in our book, Black Power Kitchen. And in the cut, we talk about subject matter about like hood Chinese, sea moss, different aspects of like pizza,
dope pizza spots,
piraguas and stuff in the summer in New York, just different parts of our life and our community that have made us who we are. And it's a little bit of food as well. So we in the kitchen and we're cooking. So we're talking about the foods and how they've impacted us and our communities around us, and also putting some of those flavors together as well. So it's an audio, a little ASMR, a little flavor in your ear, some of those vibes.
We had some great guests. Like we had Questlove and Black Thought to kind of have a battle between the Philly cheese and the chopped cheese. Like we had Fly by Jing and Rocky Zoo to talk about the hood Chinese and like from a Chinese perspective and how like that culmination and collision of culture and what that means to them. The homie Scar from Scar Pizza, you know, Dominican Cat from Harlem, Ferg to talk about the juice. So,
Had your mom on?
Yeah, my mom's like, cause she was a raw vegan for years and was like heavy on the Seymour. So yeah, it was a good vibe, you know.
that's dope. And what's next for Ghetto Gastro?
Man, the focus is blowing Target out the doors. This is like getting on shelf is step one of like 1,000 steps, but we plan to keep doing this because the goal is to really nourish the world so they can eat better and live better lives, you know. So this is the first step, and we got more to come, more media. Hopefully we collaborate. You know what I'm saying? I know you.
It would only make sense, right?
Cooking.
Breakfast Club and Ghetto Gastro with the
Club and the
Breakfast
Breakfast Thugs.
It feels right. It feels right. You know. So yeah, that's the vibes. You know, just like to keep feeding the people.
You know, at first I wanted to say global domination, but it's really about global regeneration. We want to introduce regenerative diets to the masses, to our people. You know, sustainable ways of living, sustainable ways of eating. So it's really about global regeneration and, you know, uplifting one another, black, white, whoever, you know, all come together for a common denominator, a common cause, and that's nutrition. And that's feeding each other right, and in turn, we treat the planet better.
And really to like highlight the flavors of highlight the flavors of our community to bring a sense of pride and like, you know, every season you see the pumpkin spice, right? You know how they go crazy, pumpkin spice lattes, frappuccinos, whatever. We got the sweet potato pancake and waffle mix. You know, we doing the strawberry, the PB&J, the chocolate and raspberry. So really celebrating flavors of the global South, you know, that aren't necessarily Eurocentric. You know, things that originate in Africa, Asia, and the Americas.
We need a sweet potato latte. I said that during Juneteenth. Like, you know, like we need, like how they got the pumpkin, what's this shit called? The pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah.
We need a sweet potato latte.
Look.
Maybe you've given us some ideas.
We might have a spot for you whenever you're ready to hang up the mic. You know what I'm saying? Come rock with the gang.
But we call out, like John was saying, we call ourselves the Pan-African Pantry, and we like to use the ingredients like in our spicy maple syrup. We're introducing the idea of using maple syrup as a sweetener versus, you know, sugar cane and the connotations and the stuff that the history that's attached with chattel slavery and the sugar cane, but then also by infusing different flavors like smoked chilies and Scotch bonnet and peri-peri, bringing it back to the continent of Africa, and also the flavor profiles that we go with all of our ingredients as well. Like John was, I'm gonna continue, but like the peanut butter and jelly with the toasted pastries. That's
George Washington Carver and the peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? So like highlighting.
We got that return of the Mack maple apple cinnamon Bob tart for you. Highlighting the maple once again.
And it's in Target right now, so they can go to Target right now
Nationwide,
and get it.
Nationwide, online, 1,900 doors everywhere. Run it up, Target. You know how we play.
Run, don't walk, man. Run it up. Run up.
Yeah. We gonna get it.
Tell them where to find y'all, man.
Find us at Ghetto Gastro everywhere. GhettoGastro.com, at Ghetto Gastro on Instagram, TikTok. There's so many social media, YouTube, everywhere.
Everything is Ghetto Gastro. I'm Chef P.
Ghetto Gray, John Gray, aka Ghetto Gray.
Chef Lester Walker on the gram.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, brothers, for
Thanks
joining us.
Y'all gotta taste
some
these
samples too. Like
let us know what y'all think.
It's the maple apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
strawberry.
That's the strawberry. Yeah, that's the return of the Mack right
Why
there.
you give me the pink one? Cause I'm pink, my
Nah.
Nah, 'cause you got the rose gold on, so I give you the
okay.
pink. Pink
You know?
face.
That's really fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good
black
one.
cinnamon, really good.
You know, you put that McDonald's
Look at
apple
the
pie
calories.
down.
That's
And
one of
look,
my
man.
favorites actually.
That's good.
And we
strawberry.
call
0%
it
cholesterol too. Okay.
It's good.
and we call it a bop because it's a burst of power, a bite of pleasure,
It's a
black-owned pastry, and we plan to make billies off pastries. You know, Hov used the line, but I'm a sampler. You know how he did Nas with Dead President. we're the lords of the kitchen cupboard. You heard?
Word.
All right.
It's good.
It's Ghetto Gastro.
We made it
We
a
got
hot
a
line,
pack
we
for
made it a
y'all
hot
too.
song.
We made a gift bag for y'all. So
All right, it's the
We'll
Breakfast
bring it
Club. Good morning. Thank y'all.
yeah.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.